Every business today is sitting on a mountain of data. The real question is, how do you turn all that raw information into smart, clear decisions? Well, today, we're going to dig into exactly that. And that really is the heart of the problem, isn't it? You've got data from every sale, every order, every single transaction. But data by itself doesn't tell you what to do next. For that, you need answers.
Think about it. Systems like Microsoft Dynamics are kind of like the digital nervous system of a company. But they generate this massive sea of information. The goal isn't just to tread water in that sea, it's to learn how to navigate it with confidence.
And this leads to a feeling that I'm sure is pretty familiar to a lot of people. You feel like you're drowning in data. You have all the information in the world, but it's not actually in a form that helps you make a choice.
Here's a good way to think about it. A car's dashboard. You don't have to be a mechanic to know what's going on. You just glance down. You see your speed, your fuel, maybe a warning light. And that's exactly what great business analytics should do for you. Translate all the complicated engine noise into a few simple signals that tell you how to drive forward.
All right, so let's start with the big ones, the absolute fundamentals. How do you take a quick pulse check on the financial health of your business? How do you know if you're on solid ground? Well, if you were to just dive straight into the raw accounting data, you'd see something like this. A trial balance. It's a list of accounts with debits and credits. Now, an accountant loves this, but if you're a manager who needs to make a decision, like right now, it's just a wall of numbers, right? Not very helpful. But what if you could take that wall of numbers and just transform it? That's where the magic of analytics comes in. It takes all that raw stuff and gives you a clear, simple view. All of a sudden, you're not staring at debits and credits anymore. You're seeing your real financial position. You're seeing your cash flow. You're getting answers. Now, that idea of getting clear answers brings us to another super critical area. Mastering the flow of cash. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, cash is the lifeblood of any company. Managing cash flow really just boils down to two things. On one side, you've got money coming in, your receivables. The big question is, are our customers paying us fast enough? Then on the other side, you've got money going out, your payables. And the question there is, are we paying our bills in the smartest way possible? It's a constant balancing act. So on that money inside, there's a metric that finance folks are absolutely obsessed with. It's called Days Sales Outstanding, or DSO. It's just a simple way to measure how many days, on average, it takes to get paid after you make a sale. A high DSO means your cash is stuck out there, waiting to be collected. And on the flip side, for money out, we've got Days Payable Outstanding, or DPO. This measures how long you take to pay your own suppliers. Now, your first instinct might be to pay those bills immediately, right? But strategically, it can actually be smarter to hold onto your cash a little longer, as long as you keep your suppliers happy. So the strategy becomes crystal clear. You want to shrink your DSO, get that cash in the door fast, while you smartly optimize your DPO. When you nail this balance, you're not just managing cash flow anymore. You are actively controlling your company's financial destiny. Okay, so we've got the financials covered. But what about the physical side of the business? You know, the actual machines, the equipment, the assets that make the things you sell. How do you make sure they're working for you and not against you? To figure that out, we look at two key numbers. The first one is mean time between failures, or MTBF. It sounds technical, but it's a really simple idea. On average, how long does a piece of equipment run before it, breaks? Obviously, the bigger this number, the better. But hey, things break. It's a fact of life. And when they do, our second key number kicks in, mean time to repair, or MTTR. This just measures how fast your team can get that machine fixed and back online. It's all about the efficiency of your response. So when you put these two together, the goal becomes so clear. You're aiming for long stretches of work with no interruptions. That's your high MTBF. And when something does go wrong, you want that downtime to be as short as humanly possible. That's your low MTTR. That right there is the signature of a really healthy operation. So let's bring this all home. We've taken this journey from looking at confusing tables and raw numbers to seeing clear, simple metrics for finance, for cash,
and for our assets. We've gone from just having data to being able to make a real decision.
And that is the whole point. It's about transforming that raw ERP data into what it says right here. Actionable insights, stuff you can actually use, with reporting that's happening almost in real time.
What this creates is this amazing virtuous cycle. It all starts with you asking a critical question, like, are we getting paid fast enough? Then the system gives you a clear data-driven answer, like your DSO number. And that answer empowers you to make a smarter decision. Then you get to ask the next question.
So just remember, this really isn't about who can collect the most data anymore. It's about who can get the right answers to the most important questions at the exact moment they need them. So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Just picture it for a second. If all the data in your organization could suddenly talk, and it can answer anything you wanted to know.